see me now, oh God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, oh God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top of the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, oh God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Ingram. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Jackson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
3 down, 3 down.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just after that one, and took it all the way.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Jackson looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Evans. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey's one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
On third down, it's Evans. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first.
I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a give right side. Evans. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. The strong. He's got daylight. The 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a give, right side. Evans. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, He just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown.
Jackson's pass complete to Marquise Brown. It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd.
Check, 47.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. It's Edwards, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go back to Edwards on first down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. These two teams all tied after 1. Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
This is caught. And he's brought down. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the shot.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 10 by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think that's a big-time play there, because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick, but able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just
down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown on the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the... How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. But you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
First down. It's Evans. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A pass there, complete to Westbrook. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 30-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Sam Cook now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Jackson Funches has it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. It's caught by Funches. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Jacoby Brissett leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. From there, we're off to check out front in that one. The Oilers were one of the best teams in football in the first half. They'd get to 7-2 if they could hold on. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And that game all tied up as they host the visiting Giants. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he completes it to Westbrook. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. It's Hill, complete. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
They'll run on 1st down. It's Edwards. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run once more with Edwards. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is fielded inside the 5. 12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because...
Now the ball comes loose. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He's got a first down past the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Again, it's Edwards. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On 3rd down, Jackson. That one complete to Hills to about the 21.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man. That's Hardman. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end right, tight end right.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 13-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. That time, a 6-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Back now in Miami. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. From the 30 on 2nd down, Jackson. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They go play action now. Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, it's Edwards. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 36, Jackson. A dump off now to Hill. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, he puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Evans, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. He's got a first down past the 30. The 40, 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 81 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And, in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. The open man is Westbrook. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. They'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On a jet sweep, here's Westbrook. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Gets complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 3rd down, Evans. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Charles Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Baltimore, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.